Welcome to this series of modules on how to write a competitive proposal for Horizon 2020. And in this first module, I explain the fundamentals of Horizon 2020. Now, at the bottom of this slide, you will see a web page that contains a lot of the web pages that I mention in the presentation. Now, Horizon 2020 is the name of the European Union's Research and Innovation Programme. It started on the 1st of January 2014 and it will finish at the end of 2020. Now, the previous programme was called Framework 7 and that finished at the end of 2013. Now, the period 2014 to 2020 is the period when the calls are published. So what the European Commission does is it divides Horizon 2020 into many sub-programmes. For example, there's a programme on energy, programme on food, programme on information technology. And for each programme, it publishes a document called a work programme. So the first challenge you have to have is to identify which programme do I fit into and where do I find the work programme. Now the work programmes, the first set of work programmes that were published covered the period 2014 to 2015. Now a call for proposals was published in 2014 and another one was published in 2015. Now, a second set of programs was published in 2016 and 2017, and another set of programs for the period 2018 to 2020. So you need to find out which program do I fit into and when is the next call. And to make life a little bit more interesting, they also have about 7 different types of grants. So over the next number of modules, I'm going to describe each of these items, the programs, the grants, the calls. Now, if a call is published, what happens actually is the call is officially published by the Commission, say, on the 29th of July. It defines a deadline, maybe on the 4th of February, 5 o'clock Brussels time, very strict deadline. So you normally have 4 to 5 months to prepare a proposal. Now, when the deadline closes, a minimum of 3 evaluators are going to read your proposal. And they're going to recommend which proposal should be funded. And what happens then is that you enter a phase called the grant agreement preparation. Now, this is more of a legal phase where you sit down with the Commission and they discuss the proposal, they look at the legal deliverables and so on. And basically they prepare a legal document called a grant agreement, and this takes 3 months. Now the project can run from between 3 and 5 years. Now up to 5 years after the end of the project, there could be a financial audit. So these are the different phases involved in the process, and it's quite typical of most funding programs at national or even international level. Now, if you decide to put in a proposal or to participate in a consortium putting in a proposal, the website is called the participant portal. Now, normally a consortium consists of maybe between 8 and 10 organizations, and one organization is designated as the coordinator. Now, this could be University College Cork in Ireland, and they're responsible for bringing the whole proposal together. Now, a proposal is divided into 2 parts. There's the scientific part and there's the non-scientific part, the administration, the research management and so on. And normally 2 people are involved in writing the proposal. If the project is divided into sub-parts, these are called work packages, normally one organization would be responsible for each work package. Now, suppose now in this project we have 7 work packages and there could be 10 partners in the project. That means that 1 or 2 partners have very little to do when the proposal is being written. Suppose one partner is a small company who's going to be the pilot site for testing a new software, then when they're writing the proposal, they may only have to write 1 or 2 pages. Now the coordinator could spend up to 3 months bringing the proposal together. The work package leaders, it could be down to a few days, and a minor partner could have a few hours. So if you're a beginner in this business, I recommend that you join a project as a partner. Maybe if you have a bit more experience, you could become a work package leader. But I don't recommend somebody to become a coordinator unless they're really familiar with the whole workings of the system. Now, most universities and research centres in Europe have research support services, and they understand the terminology, the structure of the programme, the rules, legal rules, financial rules, and so on. At national level, there are people called national contact points. So there's a national contact point for the energy programme, a national contact point for the food programme, and these people are very familiar with the details of each programme. And at European level, then most countries have an office in Brussels. And at the end of this presentation, I'll give you a website where you can find all of these. Now, Horizon 2020 is divided into 3 pillars. Pillar 1 is called the Excellent Science Pillar, and the aim of this is to make Europe the leader in science. Pillar 2 focuses on helping industry to become more competitive. And Pillar 3 is about addressing societal challenges. And I'm going to look at these in the following slides. There's the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. This funds innovation at a regional level. There's a program called Euratom, which looks at nuclear research, that's fusion and fission. And the European Commission has 7 institutes of their own called the Joint Research Centres, and this programme is for them. Now, there's a small programme to help regions in Europe that are less involved in European research to develop their excellence to become more involved at European level. And there's a programme then called Science and Society, dealing with things like ethics in science, gender in science, communicating science. But the 3 main programs or pillars are Pillar 1, Pillar 2, and Pillar 3. Now, Pillar 1 is about making Europe the leader in science. Now, the first program here is called the ERC. Now, these are really, really special grants. They have a unique characteristic in that you do not need a consortium. You can submit a proposal on your own, and you're totally free to submit anything you like. And it deals with fundamental research. And in the following modules, we're going to look at the detailed structure of ERC. FET is about funding radical innovation, radical innovative ideas. Now, most research is incremental, where you build up a body of knowledge over 10 or 15 years. FET is about taking known concepts and bringing them together in a totally different way. Now, in FET, scientists are, again, totally free to submit anything they like. So this suits people who are working in, really fundamental research or at laboratory level. The Marie Sklodowska Curie Actions, these fund fellowships. And there's a whole range of fellowships, individuals fellowships, networks for funding PhDs, and these will be described in great detail in the following module. Now, research infrastructures. The European Commission does not build research infrastructures, but they fund things like bringing research infrastructures together to cooperate, making research infrastructures accessible by European researchers. And they also try to identify what future research infrastructures Europe will need, and they fund the design phase of those. So again, Pillar 1 looking at, it's all about establishing Europe as a leader in science. Pillar 2 is about making industry more competitive, and the type of industries they look at is the information and communication technologies. Again, this is an 8.1 billion euro program. It's over 100 pages of a work program. We have nanotechnology, advanced materials, manufacturing, and biotechnology. And then we have space technologies. Now, again, it looks at the technologies of space, but within the space program, you also have applications like flooding. Those are flooding projects funded inside in the space program. Innovation in small and medium-sized enterprises is about providing support services for companies that participate in Horizon 2020. But this program also looks at studies and into the whole area of entrepreneurship and on high growth companies. Access to risk finance looks at 2 main things. It's about trying to stimulate investment in research infrastructures, and it's also about providing funding for investment in high growth SMEs, and this funding can go to venture capital or banks to invest in companies. So again, the main emphasis of this program is really looking at industry and looking at small and medium-sized enterprises to make them more competitive. Pillar 3 looks at what are called societal challenges. So the first program is a 96-page work program covering health, demographic change and well-being. The second program looks at food, agriculture, marine. Third program looks at energy. Then we look at transport, climate change, resource efficiency. Now, this program here, Innovative, Inclusive and Reflective Societies, looks at social science and humanities. Inclusive research is about social issues, and reflective societies is for the humanities. For example, learning from the past. Secure Europe is about applying your expertise to security issues, for example, IT for cybersecurity, health for bioterrorism, and so on. So here we are with Pillar 1, Pillar 2, and Pillar 3. Now, Pillar 1 is defined, it's a political language, it's a bottom-up program. That means the scientist is totally free to submit anything they like. So if you say, I can't find where I fit into Horizon 2020, everybody fits into Pillar 1. Pillar 2 and Pillar 3 are called top-down. In other words, when the Commission is designing the work program, the programs are designed to address specific European challenge. And I'm going to look at this, how these programs are designed in future modules. Now, this is just a summary of the sources of information. This is the official website of Horizon 2020, but this is the important one, the participant portal. This is where you get the information on the programs. This is where you get the calls for proposals. This is where you put your name in to be an expert. And most importantly, this is the website where you submit your proposal. And we're going to have a look at that as an e-learning module later. If you want to find, is there a national office in Brussels? There's a website called Igloo RTD. And in there, if you want to find, has your country got an office in Brussels? And for national contact points, you can find these listed in the participant portal, but each country then has its own website. Now, this is the book I've written on writing the proposal, and you can find this on our website. But I look forward to seeing you in future modules, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.